Well, I guess I'm getting into the political swing of things. So I'm going to make an informational video and give you a reason why you need to vote in the presidential election at the end of this coming year, and how important it is for progressives to make their voices heard. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, voting for the president really doesn't do a heck of a lot. Well, yeah, it does. But voting for your congressman, House of Representative or senator, your local governor, your state representatives, and your city government is extremely important. I would say your local government is probably the second most important vote that you can cast this coming year, but the most important vote that you can cast this coming year is for the vote of the office of the presidency. Why do I say that? Because these 9 people have the power to invalidate any law that Congress makes, basically by using the term unconstitutional. They also have the power to rule on a president's executive orders, also indicating that they are unconstitutional. These 9 people, which form a third of our government, are the only ones that have lifetime tenure. So once they get in, they're basically in for life until they retire or die. That is supremely important. The next president of the United States more than likely is going to have the ability to reform the direction that the Supreme Court is going to take for at least the next 15 years or so. Now, in case you don't recognize these people, the gentleman on the extreme right is Clarence Thomas. Seated next to him is Antonin Scalia. In the center is Chief Justice Roberts. Next to him is Justice Kennedy. Next to him is Ruth Bader Ginsberg. On the back row, you'll have from left to right would be Elena Kagan, Joseph Breyer, Samuel Alito, and Elena Kagan. At least 3 to 4 of these judges are going to retire within the next 4 to 8 years, and more likely 4 than 8. The people that are going to retire are probably Antonin Scalia, who is currently 79 years old and was a Reagan appointee, Anthony Kennedy, who is 79, he was also a Reagan appointee, Ruth Bader Ginsberg, she is 82, and she was a Clinton appointee, and Stephen Breyer, he's 77 years old, he's a Clinton appointee. So let's just to refresh, Scalia is 79, Kennedy is 79, Ruth Bader Ginsberg is 82, and Stephen Breyer is 77. Everyone else is in their mid to late 60s on down to 55, which the youngest is Elena Kagan. There are going to be 2 conservatives coming off of the court and 2 progressives, liberals, whatever you want to call them, coming off the court. Those would be the 2 Reagan appointees and the 2 Clinton appointees. If a Republican gets into the office of president, he would be able, or she would be able, to place a firm majority of conservatives on the court. Meaning 4 new appointees, which would all more than likely be conservative, plus the 3 existing conservatives, which would give them basically a 7-2 majority. And I don't have to tell you how important that type of a swing would be. If a Democrat or progressive is able to attain the office of presidency, you would then have a 6-3 majority as far as progressives would be concerned. With that type of a majority, things such as Title V of the Voting Rights Act could be reviewed and reinstated. Questions as far as the president's ability to issue executive orders could more than likely be upheld. Things like Citizens United could be overturned. It would have a far-reaching ramification for any major shift in the structure of the court. So, that being said, I think it behooves all of us to cast our vote for the person of our choice with an eye on the fact that that person is going to have the ability to form the opinion of the court for at least the next 15 or so years.